God, this camera always looks like it's out of focus or too dark or something. Let me see if I can fix this. If the camera cuts and now it looks worse, you can blame stupid me for calling audible in the middle of a recording session. Let's see what happens. It looks exactly the same. Okay, well, let's run with it then. Hello, friends. How are you doing? My name is Anthony. Some people call me Twan. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, a singer, and a mix engineer. And I'm here on YouTube just making a fool of myself and hanging out with all my friends. Oh, it took me the longest time to figure out how to be entertaining on my own, because when I first started my YouTube career, I had a band that I was doing this with as well. The band's still around, we still do stuff. I had learned how to bounce off of other people. You can banter with other people real easy, especially when you've been in a band with them for 10 years. You can just like, y'all can chat shit for 20 minutes, no problem.
I heard you were talking shit about me. What the f?
And there's a good solid amount of content, and there's at least definitely an intro in there somewhere. Took me forever to figure out how to hold a show like this on my own. I still don't think I'm very good at it, but we're getting better. We're getting more entertaining. Problem is I run out of stories and forget what to say. And when I get bored, I slip into different accents again, because now it gives me an extra layer of comedy to hide behind because my personality is such shit. There's something wrong with me. Maybe you guys should be my therapist. I should just talk to you about my inner demons. For instance, I'm deathly afraid of spiders. I don't care what kind of spider it is. They could be that big. Not killing it. And I'm also not staying in that room. Not happening. I went over to a friend of mine's house, and she had like one of them big spiders living up in the corner of one of her rooms. And I was just like, hey, you got a demon up there. And she goes, oh, that's just Frank.
This is not okay.
And I was like, okay. And I peeked in that same room about an hour later, and he was gone. I was like, nope, I'm out. And I just... I can't do this, I'm sorry. So, speaking of phobias, this is not one of my phobias, it's good songs. I've got a song here that YouTube recommended is recommended, and it's funny because they've recommended to me one of my favorite singers in a band that I'm relatively familiar with, but I've never heard this song. The band is Kamelot, and it has literally one of my top 3 singers of all time, Tommy Karevik. I love that guy. He is so good in both Kamelot and Seventh Wonder. Seventh Wonder is one of my favorite bands of all time. Mercy Falls. If y'all haven't heard Mercy Falls by Seventh Wonder, oh my God, it's like one of the greatest prog albums of all time. So he's got some vocal runs and stuff that are just insane. And he's also jacked as hell, and that also makes me jealous. So the song is called Phantom Divine, and it's live featuring Lauren Hart. I don't know who that is. They always bring in these amazing lady guest singers. Like, I learned who Charlotte Wessels was from one of their songs. Awesome. So I'm looking forward to now becoming an uber fan of her as well. I love Kamelot. Let's do this. Sounds just like them. They have fire? They got pyros. I'm jealous of that. There he is, man. There he is. I am all you ever wanted. I'm a new dimension. His tone. Immortality perfected. Oh. Look at those biceps, man. That's just not fair. That's a nice riff. Oh, this is so good. Sensory overload. Oh, there she is, man. For the key change. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, right in the feels. Oh, yeah. Whoa, it's a loud crowd. Holy crap. Whoa. Jeez, dude. Wow. Okay, I was mesmerized. I don't think I said enough words because I was just watching that. Man, every time I hear a Kamelot song, I just love them more. And it's not possible to love them more because I have one of my favorite singers ever. And this proves why. Did you hear his tone? He's got such a rich, full, emotive, expressive voice. It's so good. It's so hard to explain why it's so good. Just the way that he supports from his diaphragm. I'm talking about Tommy Karevik, the singer, by the way. The way he supports from down below, but like the way he just emotes with his voice is just so good. It just feels right. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where he's so good it's hard to describe why. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, you see that all the time. There's people that are so good at something and you just can't, like, I don't know, dude, he's just the best. This is one of those times. Like, you could obviously kind of break down his vocal technique and figure out exactly what he's doing, but even so, like, he just does it in such a way that's just so good. Oh man. Okay, you could tell that was a Kamelot song for me for two reasons. Numero uno, the intro. Lots of Kamelot songs, at least in my opinion, and this is me not knowing every single song in the Kamelot back catalog, by the way, so just take this with a grain of salt. But I'll say that, a lot of Kamelot songs start with double kick and like with, you know, big orchestra over like some chugging guitars and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, a good amount of their songs start that way, and it's cool. Like, you can tell instantly, that's Kamelot. And like, they have a very iconic way that they do their orchestras that sounds like Kamelot, which is fun. The other thing that I can always catch I call it a Kamelot bridge. It's because, like, weirdly enough, sometimes their bridges are even more catchy than their choruses. And this one like hit me right in the feels, man. I felt that bridge. I closed my eyes and transcended to another plane, and I was looking down at myself watching this video. That bridge was just so good. And then they went even further and they brought it down to just piano and vocals. And oh, dude, it's such a Kamelot thing to do. Like to write a bridge that's arguably better than your chorus, which is funny because the chorus was really, really nice. Lauren Hart, my God. Okay. First, her voice, nice. She was singing. It was much the same technique as my man Tommy there. It was nice and I don't want to say deep, but it was supported from down below and it had a nice, warm, big tone about it. It was so good, her singing voice. And then she screamed and it was like, oh, it's one of those people. Another one of those people who's just like, yep, she's just way too good. We don't know why. Awesome. And she just kept screaming basically through the whole rest of that song, and it was sick. Super, super cool. It fit really well. What's the other Kamelot song where they do the screaming? Is it Sacrimony? When Alyssa Whitegoddess comes in and does her screamy bridge, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I could get down on this. Which is, again, it's a Kamelot bridge. So it makes a lot of sense that it slaps as hard as it does. Man, what else? I was really noticing how clean the drums were. The drums like are fast. They were just like booking it on them feet. What you listen for, at least what I listen for when you're hearing like consistency in drums. And the only reason I listen for this, just as an aside, is because I'm a mix engineer and I track drums all the time for bands. And I am an asshole when it comes to tracking, because if the drums are not tracked properly, you can't mix heavy drums. So the point of it is, I am meticulous when it comes to recording drums, and you can listen for how off a double kick is. This is what I'm getting at, is like when a double kick plays, every now and again, like if the drummer is right-handed, they play over here like this, their right foot is their dominant foot, and that's what they play, I'd say 80% of the kick drum with. And so when they go to the doubles that, you know, go right, left, right, left, right, left, like alternating, sometimes you can hear like a, and there's like an accent on one and not on the other, which is bad. You don't want that. But the other thing is sometimes they can do like a, and it feels more like a flam than a nice straight, than like a nice 16th note. This man, I don't know his name, he was not doing any of that. This is what I'm getting at. It was clean as shit. It was just like a straight, solid, just, there was no favoring of one foot over another. There was no, everything was just nice and on time. And the snare was not flaming with the kick drum. That's the other thing. So a lot of times, like when drummers kind of do some beats where the kick drum and the snare fall on the same time, you get like this, like they call it a flam, where the two strokes hit at slightly off times. It's like a, instead of straight, it's like a, but they flam with their snare and with the foot. So you have like this. Did you hear that? So like the snare and the kick drum are not on. So what you really want is like that, where all three, everything comes at exactly the same time instead of like a, where it's off. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. He was also not flamming on his snare and his kick. It's again what I'm getting at, which are signs of a very, very technically savvy drummer. Awesome. You can tell. I'm weird. I think about it because that's just how I like to listen to and analyze my music. Most people don't do that. I'm stupid and insane, and don't listen to me. You should just unsubscribe and tune away now. I like them very much. I don't have anything to play on these because I'm just gushing over the band, man. Oh, okay. The last thing that I noticed, the guitar solo was obviously really, really cool. I enjoy his guitar stylings. They're very clean, and simple's not the right word. They are accessible, I think, is more of the right word about how he phrases his solos. I like them very much. They're very tasteful. But I heard a second guitar. It was in my right ear during the solo. There was like guitar chords. I don't know, maybe that was in the backing track. Maybe they added that in post. Maybe there's another guitar player just hiding off stage to just play the backing, or when Guitar Man goes into guitar solo. I don't know. Not like it matters. Like, it's fine no matter what it is, because it's just a small part just to fill out the sound. I just noticed it. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Oh yeah, love Kamelot. Love Tommy Karevik. I'm telling you, go look up Seventh Wonder. I promise you will not be disappointed if you do not know them. And with that said, thanks everybody for tuning in or sticking around to the end. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I hope it was worth it for you to do so. If you enjoy what I do, consider hitting the subscribe button. I sing in 2 bands and play in a third. All the info's in the description below. And on this channel, I also do covers and songs of my own to show that I can actually play and I'm not just some asshole that likes to rip apart songs, even though most songs I don't rip apart because I like them. But you know what I mean. Just having a good time, man, and living the dream. So yeah, again, thanks everybody. I really, really do appreciate it. And now that we're friends, get out.